All right. Hey everybody. Um for those who don't know who I am, I'm India. What's up? Today I decided that I was going to finally record this coloring tutorial, and this was specifically going to be for eyes, but I realized that I wanted to color just the whole thing, but I might speed up the process and then turn to a voiceover maybe. But if I don't kill me. So this right here is a sketch of me. Um, I wanted to make this my icon for my art account, but I'm very unsure because usually I just think it's a bit weird. But that's going to be an option that I'm going to choose later on. So to get started, um, these are all my layers. I have my skin layer. I have my shirt color and eye color, which I should have put in separate layers, but we're just going to deal with that. Then I have the clipping group for the shading of the eye. Then I have the actual eye color, which is this dark brown. And then I have my hair color, and then I have the liner layer. So usually I start by zooming in and, seeing if this is all colored. This is already have like white gaps. So, thing is, with my brushes, I only go on like Tumblr and Pinterest because I don't know how to make like decent brushes, to be honest with you. I just draw. So, I do get my inspirations from some photos on Pinterest or Tumblr or Instagram or wherever I can grab it, to see what eye style do I like. And this kind of anime eye style where I have like the thick lines and stuff is where kind of I feel more comfortable at. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna set this layer right here. We're gonna set this to multiply, and what this does, it darkens the color right on top of it, but it doesn't go too dark, depending on what color you're using, depending on how light it is, depending on where in the color wheel it is. Because if I did somewhere up here, it's probably gonna be not as dark as the lash line up here. So what I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just gonna, why do I keep using this brush? I'm just gonna use, and then if you do make a mistake, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. I just color this in to like make a pupil, which is obviously, with the realistic human eye, way too big and way too oval. Like, you know, I'm just gonna color this in. Let's see. Okay. Color that in. And then what I'm gonna do, since this is already dark enough, I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm just gonna put it to around 70-ish, maybe range 75 to 80%. It doesn't matter. So we're gonna clip this again because we're still on this eye. We're still on, you know, these eyes right here. And so we're gonna go to shade this time. Now shade is a lot darker. I don't know that much about the mechanics of Paint Tool Sai. I just kind of see what I see. And what you're going to do, you're going to shade over here. I think I put too much. You're going to shade over here, like the top part, like by the lash line. And then you're going to fill this pupil in to make it look darker. And then you're going to make this smaller. Zoom in just a little bit more. I'm actually going to change my stabilizer. That's just kind of optional. You don't really need to do all that. Just add little specks to the eye. I know this is kind of like in the way, but that's kind of for later. Add that. Next, we're going to be highlighting. So I would recommend going up a little bit, and just so that it'll kind of show out more and make it look a little bit more vibrant, like changing the colors for highlighting. Like you see this, I feel like this looks really good. So we're going to do, this is our first step of highlighting. We're not really done yet, fortunately. We're going to highlight this part of the eye. And then we're going to set the opacity, which is kind of the transparency on how clear the layer will come out. We're going to set it to around, well, this one's kind of low, but I'm guessing depending on what color you're using, it really kind of depends, but just don't leave it too light yet. Try having at least under 50%. So we're going to have this at like 40s-ish. And then the next step, we're going to highlight even more. So we're just going to keep the same color, but instead of lowering the opacity, we're going to keep this at least around 100 or maybe 90 if it'll work. And then the next step we're going to have is details, or like little, just little bits here and there. And since we are doing brown eyes, it's better to do more lighter greenish kind of speckles, even though these are kind of dark brown. But since it is, a drawing or whatever, it shouldn't matter, you know. And my ways of details is not really the best in my opinion. I believe that other artists can kind of do the job a little bit more better than I can. Actually, no, let me remove that. See, there's some parts that I'm not good at. This is kind of my weakest point. We're just gonna add some stuff here, I guess. And remember, with me, I tend to rush a lot when I draw. If I were you, I would definitely try to slow down and take my time, because a lot of, good things come with hard, slow work. So when you zoom out, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty all right. And so the next layer, we're gonna go back to your original color, and then we'll go back to shading again. This time, we're gonna lower the opacity since it's like pretty much black. And depending on how dark it is, usually I would leave it at like 63, but since we can't really see the speckles that much, I suggest going around 23, because this is a very dark color. So, or maybe a little bit lower, yeah, like around 13, 20s-ish. And then last but not least, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use this for coloring lines later, so that's why I clip it, just save it for later. And this is gonna be the highlights. So we're gonna go all the way to the white, use our pen. You can use a pen brush, whatever is going to leave like very, sharpish lines. And we're gonna, me personally, I don't really like using too big eye shines, because I feel like all of this right here is, in my opinion, not the best. So I will use a little bit bigger, like right here. But if I don't like it, I can always just remove it. And it just kind of go really tiny, very tiny. And then I kind of, yeah, like that. And so when you zoom out, it doesn't look too bad. However, if you don't like certain shines, like so, you can always add more. Or if you don't like the drawn one, you can always just erase this, go to your liner layer. Let me just take this down. And then just draw it all in. And just erase this part. And just fill in the gaps that you've left behind. So we're going to go back to our original layer. I kind of did this because the little bits were feeling a little bit awkward. So yeah, If you want to do that, there's this. But if you want to keep the same little shine thing, go ahead. I'm just going to leave this here because it's going to take a long time. So you can always just add more shine to whatever, fits you best. And this, in my opinion, I feel like it makes it look better. You can go around here on the reddish area, get your airbrush tool, and kind of redden this part of the eyes, which in my opinion, don't ask. I really don't know why some artists that does this kind of style do it. In my opinion, I don't know why, because with real human eyes, I don't see that, but it does give it a nice finishing touch. And if you want, you can always grab a color from here and layer it over this kind of eye. You can always layer over the lash line. So yeah, this is an eye. These are eyes. And if there's any help that which you would like, you can always just, ask me. I always have my social medias down below in the comment. I mean, in the description. And you can always ask for help. I'm not an expert. I don't, I'm not very experienced in art. I'm experienced in some forms of like drawing in some ways, but I'm still learning. I'm not even in school for this yet. So whatever I learn and I pick up, it's usually from, videos, artists, looking at pictures, looking at drawings, looking at what looks good with what. So yeah, this is my eye tutorial. I might come back and record the rest and just speed it up and kind of add a little bit of voiceovers, and you have the finishing product. So it was very nice talking to you all. See you guys.